So excited to get that started. And of course, here we go. I think they completed a deep ball, a fade ball on us. And then we get them to fourth down. Jalen blocks it and scoops and scores.
Right.
So, we were kind of off to the races right there.
That was our Southern Air cool play of the game. Of course, Darius's punt return for a touchdown. It was just, it was electric before you guys even put that offense out on there.
Yeah, and wanted to get a little bit of work, so we were able to get there the first half and the opening drive with a lot of them, kind of a mixture of units there, a mixture of the first offense there, the opening drive of the second half. JT didn't play on that particular drive, but felt like controlled the game. I mean, obviously, as you said, sometimes when it's sloppy like that, it has a tendency to make you,
not focus.
Yeah. Not sloppy, but I'm proud of the kids. I think that we were excited to kind of get that one in the books.
Right.
And I thought that the Thursday night game really served us well. It served us well for, everybody played in that weather the next night, and we had already had ours in the books, but gave us an opportunity to get up there and get 3 days of prep here, kind of a head start going into this week.
Right.
Where they've been prepping for us. Well, say that you would assume they've been prepping for us now for 2 weeks now, and just trying to get in there and take advantage of the extra time, so that and it's a lot to prepare for. So when you begin to get into the film, having that extra day with some of the stuff that they give you really served us well. So
we're going to finish up the Bonneville game. Of course, it was over early, and once you saw what was going on, they get off the bus, and they're a 5A school. Of course, it wasn't one of the 4A that was in Division I, or that's 5A school. They get off the bus with about
2,300 kids in the school.
Right, and they get off the bus with 32 is what it looked like.
2311, I think, is what I saw their numbers. That's off the top of my head. Somebody, you look it up. Don't hold me to it, but I want to say it was 2311 is what they turned in for this classification cycle, is what their numbers were.
When we move on towards the Crusaders of Brother Martin, we'll talk about one of your prep weeks. But Nick, I want to get your thoughts on, you had your keys to the game of what they needed to do to stay focused. Tell us a little bit about what you had going on for it.
Well, one of the things was just their offense. I mean, watching the film, I can't say any other. They were just so chaotic. I mean, the formations had no rhyme or reason, and the discipline for your defense was one of the things that we touched based on. So,
it was hard to really peg them on. Hey, you're going to get this, you're going to get that, and hey, when you get this, here's some of their favorite things or their tendencies. It was not an easy thing to necessarily prep the kids for. I mean, you had an idea of some of the things that they were going to do, but hey, it just was not easy. So to prep and prepare the kids for exactly what they were going to see, and so proud of the kids in that regard. At the end of the day, and that was kind of what we went to. I mean, go line up to the formations that you get. You've seen all kinds of stuff throughout the year. You go against it every day in practice. We present, to each other, both sides of the ball can present a bunch of different structures on both sides of the ball. So go line up and have your eyes where they're supposed to be and play disciplined football, and that'll carry you through the night, and I think it did for the most part.
Well, and that was the other thing, was being disciplined, as a unit, as far as, because there were some previous games to where they got a little out of hand, they got a little out of control, and for your guys to stay disciplined on that aspect as well was very impressive.
Yep. Always, we were talking about it at halftime. How's it going out there? What's the field like? Is there anything? I said, no, Coach, they're kids. Ain't no extra stuff going on or both sides of the ball. Not a whole lot of, we're just out there playing football, and that's what you want it to be. Doing all that extra. Don't tell me what you're gonna do. Show me what you're gonna do, and more we can teach that to kids, the better. We seem to be in the age where it's I'm gonna tell you everything instead of just show up and show and do. And so I thought that they were good, and the kids said that no, there was none of that stuff going on.
Looking back at the Bonneville game just a bit, we talked about this in the post-game show up in the press box, and we talked about Ty hitting 3 different receivers on there. Of course, there were 3 different rushing touchdowns on it. That's about as spread out as you can get. the defense scored on the punt return, had the scoop and score, and then got a safety out of the deal too. So I don't think, other than me coming down on the field and running one in, could have scored any differently on there. How does that balance affect what you guys do?
Well, I mean, it's when you can score in all three phases, it certainly leads to the score, getting out of hand, and you want to be dangerous in all three phases, and I had a couple. We actually had a kickoff return that got called back.
That's right.
So we hadn't had one of those this year, so we certainly feel like we certainly have the players back there where that a very real possibility for us if we can continue to, give them opportunities.
You spotted we were down on the field watching the special teams for Bonneville prior to the game, and we were looking at the punter and said, the way he kicked it just high enough you can get it down to your return guys. We got a shot, and Darius takes it right off the bat.
Yeah, no, it's always something you're looking at. How does he punt it? What's the coverage unit look like, and are they going to give Darius an opportunity to do his thing? And certainly felt like that watching the film. Hey, this kid kicks it really well. I mean, I don't know if y'all saw on kickoffs, he was 19 yards away from the ball.
Yes, we talked about it.
Had to delay a game on the first one.
Yeah, he had to delay a game because he had so far to run up to
after
it.
the field goal, and what was that? Was it a 32?
37 was the field goal,
yard.
yeah.
I mean, he made that with these, and you could see it. I mean, what was he warming up from
He
at halftime?
he kicked one from the 50-yard line.
Yeah.
So
he made a 50. He kicked one from 60, and didn't quite get there, though.
So
didn't quite get there.
Knew that the kid had a good foot on him, and if you give Darius a chance, he's been close. He's had a couple of good returns. He had the one against EA. He had one against Washita that got called back. I mean, he's dangerous back there. And, of course, he takes the little now screen out there on the edge and, is able to score.
Very elusive, so elusive.
On the first drive.
Yes,
so he had the punt return, and then he scored on the first drive there. He can make you miss, and I don't know. We could touch him if he was standing right here. I mean,
that's what you told me.
He is quick, and a kid that loves football. I mean, those guys are like it's in here for him. I mean, it's intrinsic. Like it's important to him, playing well, and he's about it, and that makes him makes it fun as a coach when you know that it burns deep inside.
Yep. Well, we're going to talk to some of those players that it does, Bernie. We're going to walk through a week of preparation in a round 2 game. We're going to do that when we come back. We'll get into the kids, some of the coaches later on the segment. We'll go as long as we need to tonight, enjoying the night on here. Brett, let's take a look at that crowd one more time that is out here. Just phenomenal. There are more people here that are right around. But a tremendous crew that is in here tonight and couldn't do anything without the folks at Walk-Ons and, of course, Sadler's Towing, who have been our sponsor for the Thomas Bachman Show for the last couple of weeks. And it's taken me 11 weeks to be able to see that you can check out the Sadler's Towing scrolling scoreboard down at the bottom of that. And I work hard at my craft to do that. I'm out getting the reps, Coach, so we'll do that. But a big shout-out to everyone that is back here. We had the audio turned off for the first minute or two of the segment. That was my fault, Brett. Don't look at you. It was me that did that. I didn't have the mute unmuted on there. So, yeah, a little, I can say about the Sadler's Towing scrolling scoreboard, but I couldn't take the mute button off. Guys, don't go anywhere. It is going to be a special night here. We're going to talk a lot of Ash Trojan football. We'll talk to some of the kids. We'll talk to some of the coaches. It's going to be a special night. Come out and join us. You've still got time to make it out to Walk-Ons, but you are watching a Round 2 playoff edition of the Thomas Bachman Show right here on 446 Sports.
It all started with a sketch on a napkin. An idea created by 2 walk-on bench warmers. And after 10 years of hard work and perseverance to turn their dream into a reality, it's the #1 sports bar in America.
Welcome to Walk-On.
Walk-ons, because everyone needs a little playing time.
Is your vision just not as crisp and clear as it used to be? Are you having difficulty driving, especially at night? Are you over 40 and now needing reading glasses? If so, The trusted eye care team at Wallace Eye Associates is here to help with your family's eye care needs, just like we have been for nearly 40 years. Call Wallace Eye Associates today at 318-448-4488 to schedule your next eye evaluation.
Hi, I'm Kimberly Harrell, Certified Residential Appraiser. I am currently a leading provider of appraisal services for mortgage lending, employee relocation, estate planning, and community property settlements. My experience in real estate over the past 13 years and currently serving as president of the Greater Central Louisiana Realtors Association has given me a clear understanding of the real estate world and the ever-changing market we live in today. For any of your valuation needs, give me, Kimberly Harrell, a call.
There are some things in life you can fix, and some things are better left to the professionals. When your vehicle has transmission problems, what will you do? Go where you know.
Go where you know, Certified Transmission.
And we are back to walk-ons on a beautiful, I guess it's beautiful. It's a little misty out there for a Thursday night, but the one thing about it is we're out here on a Thursday night.
Yep.
So that's always.
The crew is together.
So speaking of putting something good together, I want to look at the video that got put out last week, the hype video that you guys did. We're going to play it. We've got it on here. That was great to see. And you can feel the energy that is in there. So we're going to play that, Coach. You'll probably be able to hear it. No surprise for you anyway. This is just the video. So we're going to go to that real quick.
Come on, get focused on it right here, guys. Get yourself 100% all in present. It's going to be a great night. Why? Because we're going to make it a great night. It's about what we do.
Only thing that's on my mind is who's gonna run this town tonight. It's a dangerous love affair. Who's gonna run this town tonight?
And we are back here. And look, I feel like I'm ready to get into play. One of the best lines in that is, it's going to be a good night because we're going to make it a good night. That's phenomenal work in there.
It's about what you do. There's no doubt about it. It's about what we do. We talk to the kids all the time about it. It's about us. It's about what we choose to make it. Rick and Crystal Mitchell put that together for us. They had some guys come and do some live shots and put that video together. Kim can tell me more about it. I think they're working on a couple more videos possibly. But no, that stuff is great. And the big thing is it's memories for the kids.
Right.
It's stuff that they have for forever, and they'll be old men and still be able to watch those things. And I know from experience that stuff means a lot to you when you have it and it's all said and done. And it's not a memory you can look back and you can watch a video. So very appreciative of them that they're able to capture some of that. And be honest with you, in this social media age, we probably could do a much better job. King of ideas. There's a bunch of things that really want to do. See if we can, as a school and as an organization, move towards some of that stuff and really capitalize and help you get your message out there. So I hope that we can really, really grow this as we go forward as far as the capturing of a game night
Right.
and really, the ultimate dream would be able to put out almost a weekly show.
It's a battle.
No doubt.
It's a lot of work,
No
but
doubt.
it's great to do. All right, so let's switch gears now and not necessarily focus on Brother Martin. We go down to Metairie, to Joe Yenny Stadium there in Metairie, where we will take on the Crusaders of Brother Martin in that game. Brother Martin out of the Catholic League comes in as the number 4 seed in this one, but not so much about the opponent right now, but as your week. And we talked off the air. You talked about it just all of this info coming out to you and working away. So you had an extra day, but how do you get from Friday to where we are on Thursday?
You consume a whole bunch of film and how you compartmentalize it. For me, I'm going to watch every single game from beginning to end.
Right.
Every single game that we have, and try and get a flow for the the style of football, what they're trying to do. I think that's very, very important before you begin to break it down, compartmentally of how you're going to try and attack and formations and just all the things that you're doing. So as we were talking off air, early in the week for me, Saturday, Sunday, Monday, it's still cloudy. Tuesday,
Right.
it's it can be agonizing if I'm being honest with you.
Right.
It consumes you. You sit there and you just take so much in from every phase of the game and, trying to make sure that you have the kids as prepared as you get. All right, what are we not covering? So it's really all, I'm talking about, I guess for me personally, Coach Mercer can come up and tell you, and Russo and those guys, OJ, how they break it down defensively, but,
Right.
they're more just, focused on the opponent's offense
Right,
or whatever.
absolutely.
So trying to take the whole thing in for me, early in the week is a lot, if I'm being honest with you, and then just how you begin to break it down. So, I don't necessarily, know how to answer all that. When are you going to begin to focus on them? A lot of it is focusing on yourself. And,
Right.
We've got our own practice film that we're grading and preparing and cleaning up and, making mistakes off of that we need to make sure that we cover. Eventually as the week progresses, I mean, you begin to where, all right, you can visualize everything. You see
Right.
each and every play. I mean, I can go back and, see that particular third down against that team or, this possession and team against this because you've just consumed so much and
Right.
it becomes where you begin to memorize, all right, if this kid makes the play, he's here, where the breakdown was and all this stuff, and it just from consuming a whole bunch, I don't know how many hours of film.
Brett asked you that question a little bit earlier. How much film do you watch during the week?
Hours and hours and hours and hours. I don't know. I was trying to look it up for him and some of it varies. When you get in district, we've been in this district now for 10 years. I mean,
Right.
you're obviously consuming a whole bunch of film, but, your opponents are a little bit more familiar with you and you're more familiar with them because, one, in district, it's, all right, we're preparing for, Pineville this week,
Right.
but, we're watching the film of them playing West Monroe. So you're getting a little
right.
bit,
Yeah.
you memorize numbers. So the deeper you get into district, you've seen the same films over and over. You're
Right.
just now focusing on the other side. So when you get into a Brother Martin who is totally, foreign to you, it's not a familiar opponent. We've never played them in my time. I don't know if there's a past meeting years and years ago. I mean, it's a blank slate, and
Right.
you're having to consume a whole bunch to get familiar with what they're doing and, trying to memorize, who's on their punt team, just to where, when you get out in the game, if something's different, you're not getting taken advantage
Right.
of. Who are the people in the shield? All right, who's the kickers? All right, who's the guys next to the kicker? I can't remember what game it is. They put 2 kickers out there and fake one and kick the onside kick the other way. So if that's how can you? And then you got to communicate it in a split second.
Right.
And so.
But your guys have done such a good job, the players I'm talking about, of recognizing that on the field and not needing as much from you guys on the sideline. They're seeing it.
It's how you're going to break it down and present
Right,
it when we get into our meeting afternoons, afternoon meetings every single day of what you're going to show it. Today is a big day, so meet individually, and then we get them all together, and we have a big team meeting, and we're going to run through all of the opponent's special teams and try and show it just so they see it. And in today's world, we were talking after, I need to do a better job. I mean, all of them have grown up with these devices and these phones, and the more information that you can crank out, they can pull it out. I mean, crap, they can go through the scouting reports right there in their palm of their hand if they wanted to. And Coach Mercer does a really good job with that stuff. He's pretty savvy with technology and all that stuff. He does a really good job of his presentations and his PowerPoints and his slides, and what are the things that you want to jump out to them, because you can't just present it all. There are some things you need to save for you because you don't want them,
right.
You don't necessarily want that being their focus, but how do you have it for yourself so that it's in your thought, hey, I need to communicate this before this series or this play or whatever it is, but it wasn't necessarily a big point of emphasis throughout the week,
right.
Because that's not where you want their mind to be. It's kind of, a little bit of a broader approach before you get into some of the situational stuff. So I don't know if I communicated any of that effectively throughout the week.
But did, yes.
But, you just you got to be willing to put the time in.
Right.
It can't be a casual thing.
Let's talk about your scout teams.
Okay.
Scout teams. How long does it take for you to kind of implement what they're running to your scout teams? Is that usually a Monday thing? Is that Tuesday? I mean, how involved is that?
Our scout teams will a lot of times be our ones-on-ones.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I mean, it's just another rep. They're going to block power. They're going to block counter. They're going to block whatever. I mean, crap, these are, our offense and our defense can move fronts and present a bunch of multiple things for us. So, we're going to put it in our own terminology. We don't do a whole lot of like walk right now where on a Tuesday afternoon, 5 weeks ago, it might have been 42 reps of, by God, just full on, let's go. It's probably a little bit of a quicker period. I'm looking over there at Grayson. It was hammering people yesterday and inside, but we only got about 12 to 15.
Gotcha.
Let's make sure that they're fresh. Let's make sure they get it. We don't need 52 reps. And I'm not being sarcastic when I say that the 1-0 line will go.
It all started with a sketch on a napkin. It all started with
repetition, and that I feel like that.
It all started with a sketch on a napkin. An idea created by two walk-on bench warmers. And after 10 years of hard work and perseverance to turn their dream into a reality, it's the #1 sports bar in America.
Welcome to Walk On.
Walk-ons, because everyone needs a little playing time.
If we did something as a scout rep person that really insulted the first team, I mean, we kind of got picked on a little bit. But no, I like that. I like that
the scout team
one-on-one
hero. As a coach, I like the scout team hero as long as he's given effort, because it's an opportunity for them to prove that you can play. And,
right.
And you can substitute some of the backs, and it's an opportunity for some people to, hey, you want to play? Like, come on in here and get in this group and prove that you can play. If you don't, all right, maybe you're not ready for it yet, or it's going to continue to take some more reps. So,
I like the one-on-one thing. I like that. I didn't know that. I didn't
it's
know
a lot
that's
of
the way you guys did that.
It's a lot of good on good.
Yeah,
I don't know how to, simulate the actual speed and strength and physicality that it's going to be unless you do it at that level.
We're going to step away, take a quick break. When we come back, we'll talk to a couple of the players dealing with our internet issues that we have here. The crowd has gotten their way on there, and and done that. So we're going to step away for just a minute. When we come back, we'll talk to a couple of your bigger guys there that catch the football and block a lot, and we'll do all of that when we come back. You're watching the Thomas Bachman Show live from Walk-Ons right here on 446 Sports.
The fine folks at BK Distributors want to thank all the educators for weathering the storms, so to speak, through 2020 and beyond. Thank you for your dedication to our children. The end of the school year awards are now available. Any type of award, trophies, banners, plaques, they do it all at BK Distributors. So with school almost out, that means summer leagues are in full swing. New items, same great prices, and fast turnaround. BK Distributors, Highway 20 in East Pineville behind Arby's.
This month, as we gather with the ones we love, let's take a moment to give thanks for the blessings in our lives. When it comes to protecting what matters most, trust those who care about your family as much as you do.
I'm Jason Hawk, your local Farm Bureau insurance agent. I'm here to help you protect what you hold dear.
Whether auto, home, or life, have peace of mind knowing that your family is covered today, tomorrow, and for years to come. So talk to Hawk at 318-791-HAWK or online at talktohawk.com and let us help you protect what matters most.
Wherever you are, you're there for a reason. You shouldn't have to make a trip to the branch to deposit a check. Skip the trip and use our mobile app to easily and securely deposit checks right from your phone, day or night, wherever you are or whatever you're doing. Download our mobile app today.
There are some things in life you can fix, and some things are better left to the professionals. When your vehicle has transmission problems, what will you do? Go where you know.
Go where you know, Certified Transmission.
Yeah, there we go. See, I tell you, it's going to be a little loud on that. You got to be careful on that one. It's going to squeal on you there. There you go. Back to walk-ons on a playoff edition of it, and Coach Merce jumps in, and you saw how that audible? This is what your defense did the whole
already
in this the whole time. I mean, you're just out there like let's return this punt and go play defense. Let's scoop and score. Let's go get a save. The offense is like, dude, let us have the rock.
We told him to go back in the locker room at one point there.
I bet you did.
It was pretty awesome. Just a plan comes together the way it did. Coach Bachman made a point. It'd be awesome to go score in every phase of the game, and we're looking around the defensive room like we can control a bunch of that. Let's go.
Right. Look, we joked with him in his segment a little bit earlier. I guess they're all his segments, aren't they? We talked about him earlier. I said, look, I was waiting for my number to get called on there. I thought I'm going to get a touchdown out of this.
Yeah, my turn.
I'm glad I have no eligibility left. But look, some of the holes the offensive line that opened up, I think I could have got there from a 1-yard plunge, maybe not a long run. But tell me about the excitement. I mean, when Darius takes that one back, of course we saw that. Then the blocked punt and the scoop and score. And you explained that to me a little bit after the game when we talked. Take me through that blocked punt.
Well, we talked about it all week as far as it being Jalen going to come off the edge, and we had somebody on the other side that was going to be more the scoop and score guy because we felt like Jalen could take advantage of his speed.
But Jalen greedy.
And
Showtime Dukes, and I'm taking that myself.
Yeah, I don't think Cortez was even in the picture at that point. Jalen turned it on, and the rest is history. But, no, he made an incredible move. We typically say you're going to go off the outside shoulder of that up back, and I think that guy took a poor angle at him, so he was able to go just undercut him, and the dude's a freak athlete, so he was able to make the play.
All right, so the biggest thing that concerned me was the touchdown down on the other end, and I guess it's Darius that's coming off, or maybe it's EJ that's coming. One of them's coming off.
It was EJ.
And it was EJ, and Jalen lifts him up out of there, and I mean, he's cascading down on the – did you see that?
No, thank goodness I didn't. I get pretty frustrated when I see that kind of stuff, man. No.
It was a big-time celebration. I'm telling you, he was you can imagine with him lifting EJ up how far that was going to happen.
Yes. It makes me nervous every time they celebrate like that.
Look, you guys came out and defended the ball well, as you have the last several games on there. what do you do knowing that it intensifies just a little bit as we move into next week?
I would say
tomorrow night.
Tomorrow night.
What the heck?
It's going to intensify significantly with the style of play as well as the execution that you're fixing to get. Somebody who believes in what they're doing, rather than a team that we played last week where we were kind of, we had to make sure we were really sound in our base defense because they could come out in just about any type of formation.
That's right.
And run any type of scheme. No. We know exactly what this team's fixing to do, just like you know what your district's fixing to do, and they're just going to execute at an extremely high level, and you've got to be really sound in what you're doing and fitting your gaps and playing blocks and tackling. Ultimately, you have to go tackle.
Right. I know, Nick, we talked about getting the players back from last week. We saw Jeremiah back in there, saw some of the others that had made it back in there. Jalen was back in there. Your thoughts for Coach Merce on getting full strength back?
Yeah, I mean, that was exciting to see. Of course, that they didn't. I mean, they were chaotic on offense. I mean, we watched a lot of film, and I like the way you said that. You went to a base defense because you didn't know, but knowing that you have Mingo and Jalen out there, I mean, that makes you confident.
Makes you feel a lot better when the ball's in the air.
That's
You're not quite holding your breath, as much, and I feel like with those kids, you have a chance for the ball to come down and go the other direction for yourself.
Yeah, for sure.
Tell me about what I heard, and I heard last week. Apparently, there's no service on Mingo Island. Is that what? I heard that right here in this chair.
It must be just on Fridays because, in practice it gets pretty heated and it's awesome. The competition is awesome in practice.
Well, you see that, but he really went out and showed out. I did make a comment to him as we were asking him about the play of Jason Blackwell, who been in contact. Looks like he's getting better and progressing a little bit. So our prayers still continue with that young man. But I asked him how excited they were about the pick 6 that he had, and they were blown away. And I said, well, you guys ain't got one yet. And that was the mic drop right there.
After Mingo's throwing him under the bus for not being able to catch the football, he goes and picks 6s.
And it wasn't one of those that was right in his hands. He goes up behind him and catches that.
He goes and comes down.
Has he been out at practice? I mean, have you guys been able to visit with him some? Yeah, I know. It's good to see him being able to watch and see.
Might be in for a surprise tomorrow night.
They told us. I heard Jaden Daniels talk about it in the post-game show last week, or in the press conference that he had, being able to take mental reps. Because Jaden was in concussion protocol until probably Wednesday prior there, and he says, "Look, I'm standing by and taking mental reps."
Jason's one of the best to be around because he's so coach-like, and his little demeanor where it's kind of silly and sporadic, but you'll hear him back there because he's always behind the guys that are getting reps with whether it's Jaden with Lewis is getting reps or Gaines is getting reps. Rylan Hall's gotten some reps back there, and you'll just hear Blackwell like, I should switch to the tight end there. You hear him saying the phrases out loud for check 2. Now it's going to be 1. He's saying the phrases. He knows exactly where his eyes are supposed to be. You're not weaving enough. You're not closing posts. Like he's seeing the things that Jason's ready to go whenever Jason's ready to go.
Right.
If his body, when his body gets back right, it's going to be on for Jason Blackwell.
Motor doesn't stop whatsoever. Coach, I know you just a brief time. You got a lot you're going on, but I wanted to have you on, wanted to talk a little defense for you, and looking forward to seeing you tomorrow night. But thank you for stopping by as always.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
We'll see you next Thursday night.
Yes, sir. I'll be here.
There you go. Going to take a quick break, and then we'll get the offense back out here. I don't know why we haven't, because the Trojans never, ever throw to the tight ends. We'll see that when we come back. Don't go anywhere. You're watching the Thomas Bachman Show live from Walk-Ons, brought to you by Sadler's Towing right here on 446 Sports.
Time for a red, white, and cool summer event at Southern Air Heating, Cooling, and Plumbing. It's hot out there, and we want to cool you down with some great savings on your new AC unit. Right now, you could save on a new energy-saving system. No money down, 0% interest, and no payments till June 2024. Plus a 10-year parts and labor warranty. Just need a repair? We got you covered too, with $50 off any repair backed by a 2-year parts and labor warranty. Call Southern Air Heating, Cooling, and Plumbing or visit us online.
It all started with a sketch on a napkin. An idea created by 2 walk-on bench warmers. And after 10 years of hard work and perseverance to turn their dream into a reality, it's the #1 sports bar in America.
Welcome to Walk-On.
Walk-Ons, because everyone.
Is your vision just not as crisp and clear as it used to be? Are you having difficulty driving, especially at night? Are you over 40 and now needing reading glasses? If so, the trusted eye care team at Wallace Eye Associates is here to help with your family's eye care needs, just like we have been for nearly 40 years. Call Wallace Eye Associates today at 318-448-4488 to schedule your next eye evaluation.
And we are back to walk-ons on a Thursday night playoff edition of the Thomas Bachman Show, and have a couple of tight ends. I don't know why we even have the tight ends with us in H-back, because the Trojans never throw the football to the day. You've heard us say that before. It's a remarkable year that both you guys are having.
Yeah, it's been great. It really is different.
We'll get that right there. There you go.
Gotcha. It's really different than how we used to play. I remember last year it was a lot more run-focused, but now it's been a lot more included.
You know, and it's simply because you guys have shown and earned that right that's out there. But we know who they are: Tanner Townsend, Grayson Thibodeau, that are out here. You 84 and 85, respectively. You'll see them all over the place on there. It was kind of a little bit of a joke on I guess to us on the first one, getting you free. And Coach Bachman always told us, he said they're blocking their H-backs, they're blocking, they slip in the tight end. But he continues to tell us, Tanner, that you're one of the most athletic players that's out there on the field.
Yeah, I mean, it's nice. I had a great offseason. We had worked our butt off all week, all year, developing speed, strength, and I definitely feel like I'm a different player than I was last year.
Indeed it is, and a junior and a sophomore, is that right?
Yes,
so
sir.
You guys still have a lot of work to do before it's done. And Grayson, I'll talk about this. Coach Bachman told us, too, early in the season, he said, look, Tanner's really, really good. Grayson's pushing the whole time. He says, you might see both of them out there. It's like there's no way you see two H-backs or a different tight end that's on the line or whatever it is. But here you come just banging around out there.
Yes,
you
sir.
guys have really taken a lot of pride in that position.
Yes, sir.
Tell us about the role of the H-back there in that Trojan offense.
Well, I just have a role of like being the attachment and, blocking for, as an extra and, just doing my job and being physical, giving full effort.
You guys are, and look, it seems like every week, I got to get my chair back straight. When I talk to Coach Mercer, I get a little wound up in there and have to turn the chair to him. But every week it seems like there's a different wrinkle out of there. What do these offensive coaches come out and say, hey, let's try this? And you're like, we can't do that too. And you go out there and do it. What's the progression that it's been for you guys this year? Tanner, we'll start with you.
Well, it definitely started out as more of a one and the other, not as together as much, but as the year's gone on, it's been a lot easier for both of us to get on the field. I think we're working a lot better together, getting different formations and run different plays.
I agree with that. Grayson, your thoughts on that?
Yeah, just pass protection, us both being in, and I think it's pretty good for us.
Look, it's revamped the offense without a doubt. There's been a number of them. Of course, Shield Taylor jumps out at you at the work that he did. I know you guys very familiar with Shield and the work that he does, and kind of redefined in Alexandria that H-back position. And you guys are just taking it to another level.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, he's definitely someone we hear a lot about.
Right.
His
Coach
name
Bachman
gets
likes to
mentioned
mention a lot.
Yeah, he's one they bring up, but I feel like we're definitely playing a different style, but same in that category of bringing that position to a new level.
Yeah. Speaking of a new level, and look, I've been professing this since the fourth touchdown reception, that it's an Ash Trojan record for touchdown receptions by an H-back or a tight end. I don't care if it really is or not. It sounds great, but now you've got, 9 catches and 6 touchdowns. Is that right?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, that's it's just great. Whether it's the throwback down the seam as it is, it's great work out there. Well, how excited is it when you hear your number that's called there?
Well, I mean, it's great because I remember last year James didn't get the ball a whole lot, but Coach Bachman always saying better we run the ball, the easier it is to pass. And, I mean, that's come true. The better we run, we're such a great run team. Down the red zone, it's so easy to just slip by for a touchdown.
Because, I mean, so if you're a defense, let's be a defensive coordinator, all right? We're going to stop JT Lindsey. I don't know how you're going to do that. Ty throwing the ball as well as he does, but he only has one receiver that he can focus on. He can only focus on EJ, or wait a minute, there's Darius or Jimmy. Surely with those 4 weapons, they wouldn't throw to an H-back or a tight end at it. How do you defend your offense?
I mean, if we execute, you really can't. I mean, run game is pretty much, I think we've almost perfected it, how we've run our gap schemes. It's great. Grayson coming in, heavy set, it's great. And then we throw the ball. All those guys out there can run. I mean, great routes.
The offensive line, when you actually sit down into that offensive line spot as the tight end on there, that offensive line is so solid on there. Tell me a little bit about the chemistry between all of you guys.
Oh, well, I've been good friends with most of them, the past year and a little bit in middle school too.
Right.
I just I like them. I like them a lot, and like being by their side and blocking with them.
Absolutely. So as you guys develop and get through the season, you put the stacked H-back we saw back there. What's next? Now, I know Coach Bachman won't let you give that away. I know there's some things in store for you guys. But do you ever sit back and go, what else, Coach?
Yeah, all the time. I'm always wondering what the next formation might be. I mean, we've tried. I think we've almost tried everything, but I'm sure you could always come up with something.
Do you guys ever, because I know in this day and age of the video games and all of that, do you ever come to him and say, Coach, we got an idea?
I haven't tried that yet. We let him come up with that.
You'll be a senior next year. You'll be able to do that.
Yeah,
be just fine.
a little more privilege.
Look, that's great. Tell me about the way the season's with you guys. It was a rocky start to it. It's rolled along, but, man, you guys have just gelled and playing as well as an Ash Trojan team that I've ever seen.
Yeah, I mean, like you said, rocky start, a couple losses on the road with our field waiting, but I feel like as progressed, the team's come together a lot more. Our offense is definitely a lot solid. I think Ty's fitting in a lot better, and our defense really found itself in the last couple weeks.
As I preface that question, you talk about it, the rocky start, whatever it is, your losses, the opponent's combined record is 35-4, I think is what it is. So you're playing, and I'd take those games again at any point in time. I'd go back to a Cancro, a St. Thomas More, Ruston and West Monroe, who battled for a district title, and you guys were within a touchdown of either one of them. So it's not like you went out and lost games that that you weren't battling with.
Yes, sir. We our roster, we have pretty our schedule. We have pretty tough opponents, but we're willing to play them and give our best and compete.
Look, you guys compete. Tell me how tough Monday was for you.
Oh man, I mean, it was actually nice coming off that 3-day break, like I mentioned earlier. But
you didn't think football, didn't watch any tape, none of that.
Oh, I spent some time on the weekend, but coming back on that Monday, it's like getting back into it. Knowing you're gonna have to come back and put in work.
And he switched tempo Tuesday to. I don't know. I don't have a fancy catchword for Monday, but Monday it was full speed ahead, right?
Yes, sir.
Oh yeah, straight into it.
How do y'all like those and coming out of it? Because you're going for who knows how long, one-on-ones, good on goods, and just getting after it. How do you think that has toughened you guys up?
I think it's awesome. Just like a bunch of reps and a bunch of just going full speed and with your team and really just getting the most out of it.
What has that conditioning done for you guys? Because, and we've talked about this early in the season, but the conditioning has gotten better and better through the season. You look around, and there's guys with hands on their hips, and y'all are up to the line of scrimmage and running another play.
Oh, yeah. I mean, practice is so much harder than the games. It makes it so easy. The heat, the weather, all that, and the work we put in, it makes games a lot less stressful.
Yeah.
Well, we've enjoyed watching the progression of you guys. We've got a lot of work to do before this season is over with, but are certainly looking forward to more and more reps and wrinkles from our H-backs and tight ends and the work that you guys do. Tanner Townsend, Grayson Thibodeau, thank you so much for joining us tonight on the show, and we're looking forward to a big night tomorrow night.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
There you have it. A couple of the H-back/tight ends, guys that just put in the work. I don't know why they're here, because the Trojans never, ever throw to the tight end. Or do they? Don't go anywhere. We're having a blast tonight at Walk-Ons. It is a playoff edition of the Thomas Bachman Show right here on 446 Sports.
Hi, I'm Kimberly Harrell, Certified Residential Appraiser. I am currently a leading provider of appraisal services for mortgage lending, employee relocation, estate planning, and community property settlements. My experience in real estate over the past 13 years and currently serving as president of the Greater Central Louisiana Realtors Association has given me a clear understanding of the real estate world and the ever-changing market we live in today. For any of your valuation needs, give me, Kimberly Harrell, a call.
The fine folks at BK Distributors want to thank all the educators for weathering the storms, so to speak, through 2020 and beyond. Thank you for your dedication to our children. The end of the school year awards are now available. Any type of award, trophies, banners, plaques, they do it all at BK Distributors. So with school almost out, that means summer leagues are in full swing. New items, same great prices, and fast turnaround. BK Distributors, Highway 20 in East Pineville behind Arby's.
This month, as we gather with the ones we love, let's take a moment to give thanks for the blessings in our lives. When it comes to protecting what matters most, trust those who care about your family as much as you do.
I'm Jason Hawk, your local Farm Bureau insurance agent. I'm here to help you protect what you hold dear.
Whether auto, home, or life, have peace of mind knowing that your family is covered today, tomorrow, and for years to come. So talk to Hawk at 318-791-HAWK or online at talktohawk.com and let us help you protect what matters most.
There are some things in life you can fix, and some things are better left to the professionals. When your vehicle has transmission problems, what will you do? Go where you know.
Go where you know, Certified Transmission.
Well, there's Brett to throw us right back in. That seems like what I do to you guys on there.
Exactly.
Every time.
Thanks, Brett. Appreciate that.
It is great to be back here. The rain, the mist starting to fall, and we're not mad at it by any means. And we'll be back inside next Thursday, no doubt about that. Look, when Mrs. Coach Bachman walked in, and she's walked down, and she's just looking at us, fussing about how come we outside. That's the look. Coach, do you know that look? You've seen that look play. He didn't say a word. Well played, my friend. Well played.
Smile and wave. Smile and wave.
Smile and wave, boys.
That's it.
That's right. Tremendous crowd. Brett, let's take a look at the crowd that's out there.
Fun
we'll
night.
see if we can get those folks out there to say hi to us. No, we can't. Oh, well. They're better luck next time. Yeah.
They're enjoying their food.
You know
they're deep in conversation.
The food is good. I mean, there's that buzz here. Yeah, I love when live TV and it just goes sideways on there. Back to live action, Brett. There you have it. Take us through tomorrow. It's the longest trip that we've had in a long time. Since 2 or 3 years since we went to Mississippi and played that game. So what does a day look like for the Trojans going down to Metairie?
Get there in the morning. The morning routine won't change. Pull them out. We'll feed them an early lunch. Almost I don't know, somewhere between 10 and 10:30. We'll pull them in the cafeteria and feed them there, and then we'll get out to the field house, get everything packed. Probably get out of the parking lot somewhere just before noon and head down. We're going to go to Baton Rouge and eat pregame meal. Spend a little bit of time there, let the kids stretch their legs, use the restroom, kill a little bit of time, and then get back on the bus and make the rest of the trip in there. Hopefully we're at the stadium somewhere, I don't know, give or take 10 minutes, 4:30 would be a good thought. It's hard. I don't know how big the locker room is. There's just so many unknowns. So don't want to necessarily go and just sit there and be in a tough, environment kind of thing where, you're miserable until you get to pregame warm-ups. But the quicker we start getting dressed and it becomes familiar again, and at the end, you're going to get out there and get in warm-ups, and then it's going to be what you do. You're going to go play football, and
Well, we're delighted that we'll be able to bring you tomorrow night's contest. I feel a little like Harry Carey and Steve Stone when they go and broadcast from the bleachers with the Cubbies. They would go sit down and one. We will be on the visitors' side outside with all of our friends. Still don't know that we'll get them to wave to us here. But what do you do? But it's going to be an interesting night. We'll get down there again, not play. They have, I think it's one stadium that they play at the bulk of, but they've got so many
Tad
schools
Gormley,
that play.
yeah, and then certain people have first, you know.
Yep. So we'll be at East Jefferson.
Which is fine. Yeah, there's a bunch of, you know, I guess neutral site stadiums down there in New Orleans that everybody shares, and you know, don't know when the last time been down there. Certainly played in the stadium, but don't necessarily remember the last time that played in that I've been to this stadium personally. I haven't been there since we've been in Alexandria Senior High. So
let me ask you a weird, off-the-wall, this has no bearing on anything question. Is there ever an opportunity to have that type of a stadium here where everybody pools their resources and maybe this squad plays home and away, and then you may play on a Saturday or whatever, and build one of those big independent school district ones?
You want my response?
I do.
I hope not.
Yeah,
okay.
Agreed.
I know.
And here's my whole deal behind that. You spend that amount of money for how many times are you going to use it?
You're not going to use it many.
You know what I'm saying? I mean, that was because that was discussed and brought up by, you know, when we passed this, let's build one. And, you know, my whole deal is what we have. I'd rather put the turf field down and use. I mean, we're on it every single day. We're on it I think it's the most use of the money that you're investing when, you know, I mean, it can be used during class, and if you build something off campus, you know, how does that serve you for 300 and
the other,
you know, days of the week? So, I mean, that's the only thing for me. Now, I don't know how, you know, some of those independent school districts, they're the only school in that school
district.
Except
the college that they let come play on the field.
Yeah,
right.
So,
because
you
the
know,
college stadium's not as nice as that one.
You know, and then, you know, obviously the population of New Orleans, the amount of schools,
That's
not
right.
all of them have on-campus stadiums or, you know, so it's
and there's
just
so
New
many
Orleans
5A
is
programs.
correct.
That,
there's so many. Well, there's just so many high schools there.
Right.
You know, when you get into New Orleans and the surrounding areas, that there's only you know, not all of them have stadiums on their campus just because of, you know, space. You know, that's used for other things. So I'm glad to be in the situation we're in.
Right.
Yeah, and the familiarity that you have at the home field.
Correct.
They may not have down there because I know for sure that they've played home games at two different places.
Correct.
So,
yeah, I
and
think
the locker
Tad
room,
Gormley
like
might
you're
be
talking
their original home stadium, and you know, I mean, we talked about that today. You know, looking at, you know, basically from here going forward, if you look at the stuff that came out right before the playoffs started from the LHSA, where we changed, basically the home seed is at home.
Yeah. Right.
The high seed, the low seed, however you want it, the best seed is at home throughout the playoffs in the select, which is fine. Not something we were necessarily, you know, anticipating. You know, me personally, like, couldn't that be an August memo? You know, it's not a.
But there is so much rhyme and reason out of the LHSAA, so why not, right?
You know, look, I get
off,
that.
yeah.
I mean, I just, you know, the timing of it. You know, we thought, I don't know. Anyway, it is what it is. I do agree. I do think that you play 10 weeks to earn a good seed to be able to play at home. But, you know, you mentioned stadiums. You know, that's something that we need to look at in the future. You certainly want to be one of those high seeds where you get to play at home, and somebody's got to come into your place. And, you know, so certainly something to take into account as we move into future years. But still a lot left in this year.
There's a bundle.
Obviously, got to be on the road. You know, you would say if you just bracket watch, you know, from here on out, looks like we're going to be, you know, making trips. So we get one tomorrow night.
Well, and look, we've had that discussion. If you're sitting back right now and you see the draw and you're having to travel on each of the weeks, and you say, you know what, dadgummit, that week we traveled 4 straight weeks. I bet you'll sit back and take that.
100%, no doubt about it. You know, as far as the draw is what the draw is. Play the one in front of you and earn the next one, and that's certainly been our, you know, our approach as we talked about that opening night on Coach Speak of, you know, you got to play what's in front of you. And we've got a really good football program. Coach has done a great job this program over the last decade. is one that I certainly have the utmost respect for, and really looking forward to, the competition that's going to be presented to us, tomorrow. We love these. I mean, these are the ones that we've talked about it. I mean, there's a bunch of different approaches, beat up on the people that are inferior and you feel like you accomplished something, or go test yourself against the established programs and really find out what you're made of is something that gets us going as coaches. Our kids embrace it. I mean, I feel like it's ingrained into who we are. Like, let's go play.
We've had a number of the young men on the program this year, and in the however many years that I've been doing this, I can tell when someone's genuine, and I can tell when you ask that question to each and every one of those kids, what would you rather do? We want to go measure ourselves against the very best, because if you don't, how do you know where you're at and if you are the very best?
That's right. And, they've embraced it, and I think they look forward to it. It's fun to prepare for people that are great coaches and that they're preparing their kids. And it certainly gives you a sense of urgency every single day where you're trying to make the most of it. And, that's what we're playing tomorrow night, Brother Martin is as quality as it gets, and their kids are as well coached as anybody out there, and the amount of success you can look at what they've done here the last, I don't know, 4 or 5 years. I think they've been at least in the semifinals of the championship game. So certainly looking forward to the competition, and that's what makes this time of year. I mean, there's just not very many bad football teams or bad programs left.
That's right. That's right. Well, we're looking forward to a big night tomorrow night. We will go on the air around 6:30. Yeah, that rain's getting in here. That's
it's a pretty helmet, isn't it?
It's beautiful, and y'all aren't wearing that one this year.
No, we didn't wear it much this year. But it's a pretty helmet. Sorry.
Indeed. You just throw that out. That's good. Look, I never know where this show is going to go which direction it is.
That's right.
I just know that it has been an amazing night out here at Walk-Ons. Probably the best. There's no doubt the best crowd that we have had all season. The bulk of the players we saw Chico make his way in here.
Get these windows rolled up here in future and inside and out. It's going to be fun.
Look, they had a big, long table that was lined up out there and didn't see any of it. But
I don't know if they showed up, to be honest with you.
I don't know.
Change of plans.
Yeah, but we weren't audibling and going in there, so that was not going to. No. I like to keep everything just the way it's supposed to be every single time.
Yeah, you do.
As Nick and Brett laugh about that one. Coach, looking forward to a big game tomorrow night. We certainly will see you guys down there. But as always, thank you for taking the time out. Of course, your wonderful family for coming out and sharing their lives with us as well. All of the folks that made it out. Brett, let's see the crowd. And everybody's eating. That's why they're going to be a little bit quiet tonight. And it's been a lemon butter chicken night for Coach Bachman every week. And so
I've had a couple of different ones through the years, but no, we're sticking with that.
This year it's been the lemon butter chicken and a half and half tea. So many things going on out here at Walk-Ons. We invite you to come out and be a part of it. Again, thank you to the Saddlers and Saddler Towing. They not only sponsor the Thomas Bachman Show, but also the Saddlers Towing Scrolling Scoreboard. Can you say that? I've been working on that all year. It's the Saddlers Towing Scrolling Scoreboard.
I'd have to pause and take a little bit. You're just going to have to take my word for it.
And, of course, Polos and Plaids, they made these great shirts for us that we have on here tonight. They're located right off of Jackson Street Extension over there. If you're looking at the little pizza places, you go to the right of them. They don't sponsor, so they don't get their name called on this, the little pizza places. We don't do that. So just down from there. But, guys, it's been a wonderful year. Coach, let's do this one more time next week and then one more time the next week.
That's right.
And from there, we're looking forward to seeing you tomorrow night and seeing all of you next week right back out here. To all of you that have been watching us tonight, thank you so much for that. From my man, Nick Magnano, head coach Thomas Bachman, Brett Stallsby pushing the buttons over there. I am Doug Gann. God bless you all, and good night.
It all started with a sketch on a napkin. An idea created by two walk-on bench warmers.